Hey all, Heber here. So today is a little bit of a different video because I wanted to let you know that I was so lucky to be able to snap up, as you can see here behind me, a PlayStation 5 the other day. And it's been a long time coming, nearly 2 years I think, but they just haven't been available, and I really haven't been that, like desperate for a PS5 because I already have my One X and that's really all I need. But I happened to see one yesterday and I picked it up. So that means that I'll be able to, play some of the games that I've been putting off for a long time. Stuff like the new Horizon game, Returnal, Stray, the cat game. There's so many PlayStation 5, exclusives that I actually want to try out. And now I finally have the opportunity, and I'll just do a few videos where I share, my hopeful pleasures in those games with you. And if you don't have a PS5 yourself, I can recommend it. The controller is fantastic. I really, really like it. It's such an improvement over the DualShock beforehand, and it's better than the Xbox One, I think, a lot actually. The console itself, now I don't have it here, but it's in like the box there. The console is extremely ugly and really, really big. I don't know who designed that thing, but it is terrible. But who cares? I mean, you're not going to look at the console unless you find the games boring, I guess, which is not going to happen here. So, yeah, well, we're going to look at the first game today, and it's going to be Horizon 2. Well, what is it called? The Forbidden West, I think it is. So join me, and let's see what it's like. So the Forbidden West plunges you directly into, the psychedelic, almost psychedelic world of Aloy here. And I mean that because the lighting is always like colorful, and the whole game is colorful, and it's so smooth, and there's so many environments that you will go through in your quest to figure out what's going on. And I loved the first Horizon Zero Dawn back on PS4. I played it a lot, and it's one of the only open world games that I really completed 100%, because I wanted to know what happened. I wanted to know the whole story. And again, in Horizon 2, the story is the main thing that's driving me in this game here. I don't really care about collecting all that stuff that you can collect and all the side quests and all that stuff. I really just want to know what is going on. And the story is just as good as in the first game, not as surprising obviously, but it's still very, very good. So a new aspect of this second game here is the fact that you're spending quite a bit of time actually underwater, a bit like the new Tomb Raider games actually. It seems to be the new thing in games that everyone needs to have some underwater experience. Like, the controls are not as smooth as in Tomb Raider underwater, I will say that, but it's not too bad. But still, they could be a little bit better. Like I said, the story is the main thing that drags me into these games here, and the story in the second game here is just excellent. It's very, very, like, it really drags you in. And if you played the first one, you will be right at home. And actually, sometimes the story is even fun.
Wadis.
Studious Wadis.
Studious Wadis sent Aaron and another vanguard out at daybreak to clear the way.
And so at daybreak.
Hey.
Shh.
There's a whole lot of new things to play with in the game, including this glider here that probably doesn't get, the airtime, that it really deserves. But it's a fun addition anyway, and I like using it, obviously. The trading aspect is still not as fleshed out as I would like it to be in this game here, and overriding machines and riding them is still a thing. And I mean, I usually just make do with one machine, and then the one I'm riding here, that's all I need. I don't really have to ride a T-Rex or Thunderjaw as it's called in this game here. The combat is much deeper and just as satisfying in the second game here. That was always one of the high points of the first game, and I can tell you in the second one it's even better. There's so many new ways of fighting the machines, and so many new moves to learn, and all this stuff that you can, upgrade while you are, playing the game, basically. and it just creates almost an unlimited amount of ways to deal with foes when you run into them. And of course, the whole salvage aspect is there. Like, you take down a machine and you take some parts that you can even sell or use to upgrade. As you can clearly see, the game is gorgeous, running at a pretty stable 60 frames per second, and it looks amazing. It really does. Yeah, I don't have the words, but and one of the strengths of this game is that there are so many like biospheres to run through, pretty much, like snow and jungle and like futuristic machine cauldrons and stuff like that. It never gets boring, really. So if you haven't played the first Horizon game, I highly recommend you play that one first and then you play the second. And if you already played the first, what are you waiting for? This is quality gaming.